Good morning. It's Monday, January the 12th. I'm Will Puckett. Thanks for joining us for Catch Up Quick. We begin with police saying a woman from Knoxville, missing since Wednesday, has been found dead. The Knox County Sheriff's Office telling us the Knoxville Police Department responded to a motel in West Knoxville Saturday for reports of an unresponsive person. Police finding 22-year-old Sarah Johnston dead inside one of the rooms. Johnston was last seen January 7th on Copperwood Lane just off of Middlebrook Pike. KCSO now investigating what led to her death. Well, Knoxville police say two people have been charged after leading officers on a chase. KPD Scott Erlin telling us officers responded to the 2200 block of Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue just after 10 p.m. Sunday. That's where a 24-year-old man told them two people took his Honda Accord at gunpoint. Police say officers spotted the stolen car near Broadway and Atlantic Avenue. They tried to stop it, but the driver didn't pull over. KPD says the suspects, 18-year-old Malachi Cody and 20-year-old Joseph Stafford, abandoned the car on Harvey Street and ran. Officers using a K-9 and a drone to track down the two suspects, who were then taken into custody on Burwell Avenue in North Knox. KPD saying officers found an AR-style pistol and a handgun with a 50-round drum in the car. Cody and Stafford were charged with carjacking and felony evading arrest. Video released by police shows officers rescuing a man who they say tried to jump off a bridge in Sevierville. Sevierville police saying this happened around 9 o'clock in the morning on January 8th. Sevierville police receiving reports of a man standing on the edge of a bridge that overlooked the French Broad River. Police say when officers got there, a negotiator went out onto the bridge to talk to the man who was standing on the ledge outside of the bridge's railing. According to police, the man let go of the railing, and as he began to fall, crisis counselors grabbed a hold of him. Body camera video showing other officers rushing in onto the bridge to help pull the man up to safety. We have a reporter working on this story for us who intends to speak with the officers who were a part of this daring rescue that ended well for everyone. Well, the men accused of 2 counts of second-degree murder at a Hamblin County Airbnb appeared in court on Friday. Judge setting their bond at $600,000. This is a story we're continuing to follow for you. It happened at a house on Old Poplar Road last Sunday. Officials say dozens of people from surrounding counties were there. Authorities saying 18-year-old Adam Perez and 19-year-old Taylon Trevathan shot and killed 2 people and shot 2 others who survived. Both families of the teens who died and the teens facing charges were in attendance at the bond hearing in Morristown. Perez's grandmother and Trevathan's mom agreed to making sure that the men wear ankle monitors if released. Detective Sergeant Justin Kitts testified that multiple guns were found at the house party. He says the suspects were eventually picked up as they were driving by the Sevier County Sheriff's Office. The next court date is preliminary hearing set for March the 19th. A former teacher at the center of the grade-changing scandal at Clinton High School will soon have his record cleared. Clay Turpin was one of several Clinton High School employees accused of changing more than 1,500 grades. Turpin himself faced 24 counts of destruction and tampering with government records. Now, Turpin has taken a deal with the state. His lawyer telling us that he'll be on probation for the next 11 months and then the charges will go away. He and another teacher, Rachel Jones, were fired. The school's principal, several guidance counselors, and the head football coach all left the school. Well, last night, the Knoxville Fire Department called to its first commercial fire of 2026. KFD says a 911 call came in around 8:30 yesterday night, reporting that the caller said smoke was coming from a business on the 1900 block of Sutherland Avenue. Firefighters were able to put out the fire within 10 minutes, according to Assistant Fire Chief Mark Wilbanks. No one was in the building and no one was hurt. The business did suffer moderate smoke, fire, and water damage. KFD says the building did not have sprinklers nor a fire alarm. Investigators are now working to determine the cause. A teen's now dead and a man facing child endangerment charges after a crash in Jefferson County. It happened Sunday around 4:20 in the afternoon. Tennessee Highway Patrol says 18-year-old Isaiah Broyhill was driving on McGuire Road in Newmarket when his car went off the road. He corrected but crossed the center lane and crashed head-on into a truck. Broyhill would die from his injuries. A preliminary report says that Silviano Macedo was driving the truck with 3 children inside. 2 of those kids were not in car seats. All 4 were injured. Their conditions are not known right now. Macedo is from Mexico but lives in Tennessee. He's now facing multiple charges, including child endangerment and driving without a valid license. Well, the Sevier County Sheriff's Office says a missing juvenile is now in custody following a chase that involved a stolen car. The Sheriff's Office says they tried to stop the car yesterday morning, but the suspect drove off, leading to the chase. They say the suspect eventually stopped, allowing police to arrest them without any injuries. Hundreds of people, meanwhile, lining streets in downtown Knoxville Saturday and across the country to protest ICE. Amanda Collins is with the group Indivisible Knoxville. She says this was all organized after a call from their national organization Thursday night. She says the people who turned out want to make sure that the fatal Minnesota shooting is fully investigated. Well, UT Police Department is mourning the loss of one of its own. The department saying K-9 officer Doc was playing in his handler's backyard when he and another family dog escaped. Officer Stephen Murphy found Doc injured after he was hit by a car, later died from his injuries. He was trained in explosive ordnance detection. UTPD says although he was one of the newest members, Doc quickly became a valued partner and an important part of the family. Well, just more than 6 months after he was injured while filming On Patrol Live, one Knox County Sheriff's deputy is finally getting the surgery he's been needing. Deputy Dalton Swanger's girlfriend posting on social media yesterday saying he had surgery to remove the damaged part of his trachea. She says after surgery, he had to be placed on a ventilator and then sedated after a few complications. Deputy Swanger's girlfriend saying he has a long road to recovery ahead, adding she is grateful for all the love and support they've received from family, friends, and their community. Now, the man accused of injuring Deputy Swanger is Christopher Michael Hensley of Powell. Officials say he threw a rock or a brick that hit Swanger, sending him to the hospital in critical condition. He's now facing several charges, including attempted second-degree murder. Well, if you want to ski right now, you'll have to head over to Ober in Gatlinburg. It's the state's only ski resort and one of the biggest tourist attractions that's still open this time of year in Sevier County. Now today, we're going to take a look at what the attraction has to offer and how it supports Sevier County's tourism. Our Kyle Granger will join us live all afternoon, starting at 3:30 right here on WVLT+.
And now, your first alert forecast with meteorologist Belle Oliver.
And Ober Mountain may be getting some real actual snow coming, especially looking towards Wednesday and Thursday. That's the next big thing that we're tracking on the way. A big cold front will come from the northwest Wednesday going into Thursday. That'll bring a few more showers, but also some colder air, which could transition those showers into a wintry mix or some snow. So we're going to walk you through one of our longer range models here. This is using the European model, showing a lot of those rain showers picking up, especially around lunchtime, and that will continue into the early afternoon for Knoxville. And that will go into the evening as well, a cold rain. Now, as we work ahead, towards Wednesday night going into Thursday, as temperatures drop, a lot of those rain showers looking to be transitioning into snow showers. Now, if you're from East Tennessee and you've lived here for a long time, you probably know what comes with this system is that it's going to bring a horseshoe effect. And what that means is that a lot of that snow is looking to be piling up, especially along the mountains and on the Cumberland Plateau. Now, I'm not saying the valley's not going to get anything. We could see a few snow flurries, but that's where the confidence is right now, that a lot of the snow that looks to be accumulating, especially up in the mountains and those higher elevations across the Cumberland Plateau. It's a very quick moving system out of here by Thursday morning, and then we're left with clouds by 10 a.m. on our Thursday and heading into the afternoon. That's the main big thing that we're tracking over the next few days. Of course, it's only Monday, so we still have to wait on a lot of that high resolution data. So make sure to come back for more updates. For now, though, very cold out there for your Monday. Temperatures into the low 30s. Many of us still sitting around freezing or below freezing this morning. I expect temperatures to continue to climb into the middle 40s heading into this afternoon, right around 46 degrees. This is pretty seasonal this time of year in January, but thankfully lots of sunshine out there for today. Temperatures continue to fall after this afternoon, back into the 20s, waking up on our Tuesday morning. So yes, another cold start. Going to need that big winter jacket. By Tuesday afternoon, we slowly warm up back into the low to middle 50s. Lots of sunshine continuing over the next few days. And then we start to cool off. Temperatures back down into the 40s, into the mid 30s by Thursday as that cold front pushes through. Again, make sure to come back for more updates on the rain and the snow situation for this week.
All righty, Belle, appreciate it. Well, now that the holidays are over, more cases of the flu are being reported. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimates that there have been more than 15 million cases this season. It's the worst for respiratory illnesses since at least 1997 and 98. One particular strain, dubbed subclade K, has really taken off. This year's flu vaccine isn't a good match for that strain either, which could also be contributing to the spread. Roughly 180,000 people have been hospitalized and 7,400 have died. Doctors say while this year's flu vaccine isn't a good match for subclade K, in particular, it can still help reduce the severity of illness. Now, the CDC says children under the age of 2 are at a particularly high risk of developing serious complications from the flu. The vaccine is recommended for kids 6 months and older. Well, here in East Tennessee, we're seeing a lot of flu cases right now. Tennessee is among the 45 states reporting high or very high flu activity. That's actually up from 30 states the week before. Now, several East Tennessee hospitals are restricting visitors due to the high spreading of the flu. So far, no deaths have been reported in the state. Health officials stress it's not too late to get a flu shot. The season usually does not peak until January or February and can last well into March. A new report is showing thousands of children across Tennessee are without health insurance, and it shows that money isn't the only reason for the gaps in coverage. The 2025 State of the Child report shows more than 6% of kids across the state did not have insurance in 2024. It goes on to show that 2/3 of those children were in situations where they could afford coverage, but there are barriers for families to get that care. Cost, busy schedules, and transportation. Kristen Sullivan is with the Knox County Health Department, and she says to ease the strain, they offer a free program for pregnant women and adults with kids under 21.
Provider of education, connector to resources. We assess the family for their needs, and then we help them with anything from behavioral health, finding a medical home, a dental home, resources, social service resources.
Now, Sullivan says there's also a program to help care for children with special medical needs. It reimburses medical costs, but you have to be income eligible. We have more details for you inside your WVLT News app. Tennessee lawmakers are getting ready to return to the state capitol for the next General Assembly. That starts Tuesday. Several bills are already filed covering public safety, education, AI regulations, and rural health care. Governor Bill Lee wants to expand his voucher program to allow more families to attend private school. The state also expected to give millions of dollars to rural hospitals across our state. We'll keep a close eye on the legislative session and let you know what develops out of it. Well, Knoxville's House Representative Tim Burchett has been named chair of the House DOJ subcommittee, taking the place of Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's set to leave Congress here soon. The DOJ department, created by President Trump and Elon Musk, had the goal of cutting wasteful government spending, but it's come under fire by some, including Elon Musk himself, who says the department was only, quote, somewhat successful. In a statement, Congressman Burchett says he looks forward to working with the president and his colleagues to restore trust in the government. WVLT proud to be your official station of the Vols in Lady Vols. Lady Vols taking down Arkansas 85-50 as they continue their start in the SEC. They're now perfect in the SEC after taking down Florida, Auburn, and Mississippi State. Tennessee forcing 26 turnovers in this one. Up next, a road trip to Alabama Sunday. That game is a 2 o'clock tip-off. You can catch it on the SEC Network. Meanwhile, the men's team not so lucky. A tough trip down to Gainesville, falling to Florida 91-67. Turnovers once again a major issue for UT. Now they look forward to 2 big tests this week. The first one, a home game against Texas A&M tomorrow. Then Saturday, Kentucky comes to the Food City Center. Tip-off is tomorrow against Texas A&M at 7 o'clock on the SEC Network. Well, a possible answer to a major question for the Vols happening today. A conference call is scheduled for Tennessee quarterback Joey Aguilar and his fight for another year of eligibility. The call is between a judge, NCAA's attorneys, Aguilar's lawyer, and others in on the lawsuit. We'll keep an eye on that and let you know what comes of it, as the Vols would be looking for a new QB1 if he does not get that extension. Also not expected to get that for what it's worth. Well, back in December, Tennessee diving experienced something it hasn't done in nearly a decade. They brought home a national title. Knoxville native Bennett Green teaming up with first-year head diving coach Jane Figueredo to bring home a gold medal to Rocky Top in the men's 1-meter springboard, despite it not having his best event.
It wasn't like an awesome dive, so I knew it was good. So that's why it was kind of funny. I was like, it was one of those, of course, like I made it even closer than it had to be. You can hear the crowd from under the water, and then you know, you don't know what to do with that excitement. You just go to your coaches and then hug them.
Yeah, it's impressive. You can catch the entire interview right now on WVLT Plus.
We the People, celebrating 250 years of America. Sponsored by Garza Law Firm.
Well, on this day in history, January 12th, Hattie W. Caraway became the first woman elected to the United States Senate, representing Arkansas from 1931 to 1945. Caraway took over the position when her husband died in office, but won re-election on her own. She was educated at Dixon Normal College here in Tennessee. Well, that's going to do it for today's edition of Catch Up Quick. We appreciate you joining us. As always, you can stay up to date on the desktop at WVLT.tv, inside your WVLT News app, on all of our social media pages, and streaming 24/7 on WVLT+. We'll see you back here tomorrow.